waiting. God knows how I feel. A real rotation. This thing's getting real. A real rotation.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
We are back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna. At this time, we're usually taking our commentary from Mr. Kingsley De Freitas. So, Kingsley, if you're listening and you are going to call, now is the time. We're going to give you some seconds to do so, okay? All right, so we've not received a call from Kingsley, which more than likely means that he will not be calling today, but we're going to have some talk in here still. Anyways, remember that you are free to join us. This discussion is not just about us in studio, it's about you as well. So you can call us 457-9997, and that is the number to get us on WhatsApp. That is the number to get us on the landline. And if you don't want to call us, then you can just send us a WhatsApp message, okay? Now,
right, so before we do that, I just want to, so today's COP chat, we will be speaking on prepared to protect teaching children emergency response skills at home. All right. So we know that the children are home on school vacation. So I want for the parents to gather them around us. So just put them in front of the phone. Make sure you put the phone on WEFM or RSVG PF Facebook page for that particular today's edition of COP Chat, because it's targeting children in particular in terms of their emergency response skills at home. All right. So be sure to stay tuned for that at around 8:05 or 8:10, somewhere across there. All right.
All right. Now, Roleza, we put the children aside now. This is the big people session because okay, so all right, so we have a caller. We'll take the caller and then we'll go back into what we were going to. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning. As what Pigeon was saying, we have a lot of people who don't get right information, not from the internet alone, but from the officials here, because the question still goes on. I have 3 questions to ask, and I want Step In, I want Lavon, I want Anita, and all those people who will be calling in. I want to call Sunday and the program is your turn and ask these same 3 questions. The ULP say they is selling passports. I respect that. They don't sell passports. But I want them to ask them the question. If when Comrade Augustus was in as consular in the United States, if he was given a passport or if he was selling passports. And I want the other 2 questions must answer before election. And the question will always be that they must ask them the question before election. Why they didn't introduce integrity legislation for the first 100 days and for 24 years in office? And what policy they did introduce as Minister of National Security, Ralph as Minister of National Security for crime in Senator Nigerians? What policy they introduced? Those 3 questions will always have to answer before election. Like we doing, I get away from them. So I want them to ask him the question to me, please.
Well, you and me does have this conversation like every time, you know. Why wait until the PM is in a form where you could ask the questions? Don't put other people to ask the questions for you. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Yes, I know what you're going to say. But wait until you get the opportunity. If you see, look at how Anita calling. You want me to accept the calling you and Anita talk it out on here? Hold on. Yeah, just wait till there's a forum where you can actually pose the question to the PM yourself. right?
Yes, but you know, see pose the question.
I know. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I want them to ask the question to see if you cut them off. That's the point I'm trying to raise.
I know. That's the point you're trying to make. But all right.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
See if you cut them off. Okay.
All right. All right. Yes, I'm on in. It's a morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies, angels. How are you doing?
I wonder what pulled you out this morning, Anita.
Look at us.
Oh, no.
Look at Dianna.
I was just playing some songs that I thought the listeners would enjoy, truthfully.
Boy, I can't wait. Girlfriend, my mom used to say, we ain't had good food, take in front. Go, girlfriend, go. Now, listen to that caller. Sir, there's an open forum. Roleza, thank you for enforcing that. And he has a mouth just like any of us. But I say one thing to him. I do not boil fever grass for any other one's cold. You ask your question. I do ask mine. Okay, sir? You have an English tongue in your head, just like me. Okay, don't expect me to ask you a question, okay? And that's it. I have nothing else to say to him about that.
All right. Thanks, Anita. Have a good one.
So, okay, you take care. Have a good one, girl. And Dianna.
Yes, please.
Peter, I'll get the first invitation. Okay, I'm in your corner. Love you. Joshua, good morning. And Mr. Mason, everybody stay connected. All right, guys, have a good one.
All right, you too. All right.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. How busy on your WhatsApp calls this morning, boy? Morning, Kojo.
I think that young fella, or whatever age he is, I think he tried calling on Sunday.
That's what he's making reference to.
Yeah, but he must remember what they was asking him to say. He said Ralph. And the moderator was trying to say, regardless to how I know you want to say who Ralph has introduced himself as Ralph.
Yeah, and
no, really shut.
No, Kojo, no, but
no.
Right, I would leave you to speak. Yes, I would go ahead. You go ahead, and I will say after.
That is the Prime Minister. If the person who's running the program asks you to say the Prime Minister, just simply say the Prime Minister and you ask a question. But you want to insist that you want to call him Ralph. You should know that you're supposed, regardless of what you like him or don't like him, or however he call himself, if the moderator asks you to do something in order for you, just like sometimes they ask you to say it in. I mean,
I could talk, no?
Yeah, you could talk. Let me tell you one too. It's a democratic country.
All right. So I was listening to the exchange, right? I think that there are times when the PM calls in and he says it's Ralph. It's because he wants to make it a bit more personable and on a particular level, as opposed to making it seem, okay, well, he is up there as Prime Minister. So, when he says it's Ralph, but so moderators are different, and I'm not necessarily coming down on Cecil Fred, but I just suppose that there was a different way it could have been addressed, because as the caller was trying to say, whenever the PM does call in, all he says, it's Ralph. You have a question? Ask Ralph. So I could get that, but I can't understand. Hold on. All right. I can't understand that. Yes, you want to put a little bit more respect on it, but to me, it could have just been handled a little bit differently, in my opinion. But again, as you are saying, and as Cecil also said, he is the moderator of the program, and different moderators are going to handle things a little bit differently. But to me, if you want to correct somebody into saying something, addressing somebody correctly on the program, then say it and then allow the person to speak. That's just my opinion.
No, I understand your opinion, but I'm saying if there's a burning issue for me, it doesn't take anything off of me to just say the Prime Minister and ask my question. That's all I'm saying. If you really think that you really want to answer that question, or you just want to be make instead of actually really want to ask the question, you just want to be Oh God, I can't get the word out, man.
I get you.
And
I
you
get
know,
you.
I personally think if you really want to ask the question, you could have just simply just say, "Okay, Mr. Prime Minister, let me ask you the question," and ask the question instead of going to. I mean, why is it so important for him to be saying Ralph instead of actually saying asking the question? That's my point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
He could have
well,
just simply.
yeah, but I suppose I guess it's when people have certain positions because if it's another person, you're okay with just using their first names. But to me, that is what the PM is trying to do, where to make it a little bit more personable. He's just giving his first name when he calls in. So,
And I understand that too. Though, don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing that is not what I feel the PM tried to do. But for me, if I really have a burning question and I call it, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
And I call it, and the moderator chooses to tell me, don't call him Ralph, call him the PM. I just simply say PM and ask my question because to me, the question I need to ask is more important than whether I say Ralph or PM. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I get you. But I suppose the starting point of how you even try to open the discussion is maybe what sort of throws some persons off. So yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So if you come on the program and you just say Ralph and the person say, boy, you need to do it better than just say Ralph. We need you to say. Just simply say, Mr. Prime Minister, PM, if you're taking nothing off of you to just say that and ask a question. So for me, the questions and them, because I try to ask the questions to them too, but I couldn't remember the question to what.
And you also sort of cut because it's saying you were told that you don't know what the person was actually going to ask, so you can't.
Right. Well, in truth of fact, that's a fact because I couldn't even remember the question too well. So I mean, I couldn't even ask it properly. So if I remember the question then properly, then I. But you know, just because I listen to him almost every other morning, every 3 days, and ask the same question to you, which is to me, I don't see why you're asking you them questions or even trying to put them out because I can't answer them and Anita can't answer them, and even if I need to ask them, is it going to be?
Yeah. Well, let's hope that he does get the opportunity to ask the question because, as the PM indicated, he's not afraid of answering any questions. So,
that's why I said for me, if that was me, I would just simply say PM and ask my question there.
All right. So we see what happens on another occasion, right?
Yeah. All right.
All right. Later, Kojo.
All right.
All right. As I said, it's busy on the WhatsApp this morning. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning. I love social media. I'm telling you, I love social media. My grandmother used to say, some people would swallow an elephant, but choke on a sandfly.
Okay.
You know, Kojo is correct. You know, I walk with a cane because I have vertigo. I don't know if you know what vertigo is.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. And now I don't always need it, but I try to take it with me all the time because if I'm walking with my wife and I get hit and normally we would walk in the street and hold hands. But if I don't have my cane and I feel dizzy and I hold on to her, she would actually brush me off. She said, look, I'm not your cane. Now I would run into persons in the street and I get different responses. If I have my cane, some folks would say, how are you doing? You're still using your cane. If I don't have it, some would say, it's so nice to see you walking without your cane. And some other person who love to see things fail. Some people love to see you fail. Let's say, I thought you said you can't walk without your cane. These are responses. And in closing, I must mention something that I saw that's going viral. It's a video clip talking about political parties using social media. Mr. MP Leacock was showcasing the deplorable conditions of a public bathroom. Now, I'm saying to myself, why not don't these people who use this bathroom clean the bathroom? Clean the bathroom. I do not like using public toilets. Most of our public toilets in Bermuda, I mean, this is no joke. You could actually eat off the floor. They are so clean. And there's some others, if I open the door and I see it, I mean, I just turn right out. And I always feel bad about using a public toilet because when I come out, the person who goes in after me, if they see a mess, they're going to say, what a nasty boy. So, we have to, Mr. Leacock, clean up your act. Get your residents to clean up the bathroom and don't wait on government, because if I have to take a shower in one of them places, I would not go in there until I chase out the dog and the cock. It's ironic that there was a cock there to welcome Mr. Leacock when he was doing that video. So let us keep it real. And Anita, we gonna link up later for our usual rant. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Joshua.
All right, you have something to read? No?
Let me see if I can read it on air. Hold me see something. Okay. All right, so leave that alone. Okay.
All right, then. So I guess that brings us to the end of our talk segment here, because it is now 8 o'clock here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In just a few minutes, we're going to have our cup chat session. But right now, a time check was brought to us by the New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life.